Hello, Dr. O'Brien here. Just checking in to say hi and remind you that I'm a living, breathing human being and would be happy to see you at any time, but also to announce that this video will hopefully answer any questions and concerns you have about our first paper for the Harlem Renaissance class. Have a great day and wait for more.
So I have very few minutes to do this before my children need to be picked up from school. So I will quickly move through our Blackboard page right here to show you the assignment sequence and how you might succeed at it. The first thing I want to direct your attention to is this discussion, which is Art in Spite of Struggle, which includes a 12-minute YouTube video in which I strive to explain the debate between Langston Hughes and George Schuyler. When you write in this discussion, it's my goal to give you feedback that will help you to get started on the paper. And I don't think there are any posts that I haven't seen yet, but I could be wrong. Now, after you do that post and get a little feedback, I think the next thing you might want to look at in our course content is, you don't have course management, don't worry about that. Here in course content, you will find the instructions for the paper, and it's what I called a first paper map. So embedded in the instructions, you can connect to the mini lecture. And what I ask you to do is choose a few lines from Hughes or Schuyler that get to the heart of what African American literature means in the 1920s. And you can keep any of these kind of background contexts or debates in mind with your choice. However, you don't even try to do all of them. Any of them that pertain are things you can also talk about to develop your explanation of the quote you choose from Hughes or Schuyler. You can also use our other video sources to further elaborate on your explanation of how a quote from Hughes or a quote from Schuyler explains what African American literature means in the 1920s. And by means, I mean, what's the role? What is the purpose? Is it different from other American literatures? What distinguishes it or makes it special? And again, not all of those questions, but the ones that you find most important. So your initial discussion post is a passage from either Negro Art in the Racial Mountain or the Negro Art Hokum. I ask you to make a sway, just to use a little bit of your creative energy in which you read your passage out loud. And then I ask you to include a link to one of our video segments. And these are just ways that you can plan this out almost as if you're planning a module or a lesson if you are going to teach the class. The next phase, when you have made the post and got some feedback, is to think about writing some topic sentences to discuss the material you're focusing on. So you look at your suggested quote, you look at the quote again and evaluate the tone and historical references, and then you look at your video source and explain the context. So here's the quote I chose, and here is my series of topic sentences, and these are the three things I would describe and discuss in greater detail. The next step of the paper is to brainstorm and develop your points into the discussion based on what you chose in your topic sentences. And this is a really step-by-step guide, as you can see, to writing the paper. Now, a few more resources that you might find useful. One thing is that the film about Bessie Smith does engage some of these questions. And yesterday's recording of class about the film Bessie does also engage those questions. And I have finally found and added for you the handout in which I described the different points of view and the different artistic relevances, and included in this handout some explanations of what would it look like when we apply primitivism and Skylar's point of view to the film Bessie. So this document has several pages and just lots of explanation using visuals and examples to help you move through the paper. So I hope that makes it a little easier for you to envision the larger scope of the paper. If you have any questions, please email me, and I will be in class in HEC 2008 tomorrow if you want to check in and ask me further questions. Have a great day.